FlossTube, and welcome back to Fairy Tales and French Knots. I'm Erin, and this is my channel about cross-stitch, where I talk long enough to make my family wonder what I'm up to, but short enough that you can probably watch this on your lunch break. Today is Sunday, November 9th, 2025, and this is episode 45. Hey, I have not as many episodes as I am old. Anyway, what have I been up to? I have a finish to show you, some progress on some whips, and I was at a retreat yesterday. So I thought I'd start by talking a little bit about the retreat, show you the things I got and talk about what we did there and see where we go. So, the retreat. The retreat was in Leroy, New York, which is about 2 hours, give or take, from where I live. It's a suburb of Rochester. It's a little town, and the retreat is a one-day event that supports the Episcopal Church. And this is the second year that the organizers have put it together. Last year, it was the Jane Boyer Schoolgirls of Western New York retreat, because they had a sampler that had been stitched by a girl from the area in, I believe, the 1830s. And they recharted the sampler, and then they put together some related smalls, and they did a wonderful event that included some historical lectures and context for the sampler, had lunch and coffee in the morning, of course, and it was just a really nice event. So over the summer, I saw that they were having a Christmas themed event similar to last year's, but not the same sampler, obviously. And I thought, yeah, I'd really like to go to that. However, it was being held the same day as the final swim events of the season for my daughter. So I, resisted the urge to sign up. And then my daughter got an ear infection and was unable to swim in the big event. So early last week, I emailed the organizer and asked if there was a spot. And she said, actually, yes, there is. So I got to go to a retreat on Saturday. So these two retreats have just been so well organized. And kudos to Leslie, the organizer. She does a beautiful job. To me, and I've never been to a hobby house retreat, but to me, these feel like hobby house light. And the reason I've never been to a hobby house retreat is primarily cost. I just can't afford what the hobby house fees are. Nothing against the designers they have and the things they provide. I'm sure it's wonderful. I'm not at that point in my life. However, this one is, to me, it's very well curated. You get a great pattern and materials. The food is excellent. The setting is nice. The company is wonderful. There's other things to do. So even if you don't get a lot of stitching done, you still leave there feeling like you've had a really great day. And I looked forward to it, and I hope you do it again. I know we were all asking about next year, so who knows, right? So let's talk about, how the day went. I drove about 2 hours to get up there, and waiting for me when I came in to sign the registration log was a kit that included these 3 ornaments. This pattern here is the church that the retreat was held in and that the money went to benefit. And then the other 2, Snow and Joy to the World. So very, very cute little patterns. And they were fully kitted with the finishing material, fabric and floss, even the Aleene's glue is in there. So it was a lovely, lovely little kit. And we got a project bag to put it in. So there were, I think, 3 patterns of project bag to choose from, and I chose the classic Santa. Super cute. Leslie said they were made by an Etsy seller, and there's no tag or any maker information on it, so I can't tell you who made it, but it's really lovely. So that was the project that came with the retreat. Leslie did a lovely lecture. Wow, there's a tongue twister for you. Leslie did a lovely lecture on finishing tips, and was great. She actually suggested using old vinyl placemats as templates for finishing, and I'd never thought of that, and that's a great idea. I have done lots of ornaments and flat fold finishing. I tend to use either mat board or comic book board, but this is another option that I'd never thought of that would work great for things that you want to be lightweight, especially. So something to keep in mind. So that was what we got when we came in. When we left, we also got a little thank you gift bag. And in here was some Pony Black needles, some tea, let's see, some Stitchers lotion, a little hoop, and a little stand for if you want to make your ornament a stand-up. You can put them on this. I use these too, only, that's what I did. That's what I did this little guy on. Same concept, because he's a stand-up with that little photo loop on top. So yeah, definitely usable, and maybe I should do a little video on how to do that. There's something I could do. So yep, we'll definitely use this. And she also included some little free patterns from Shannon Christine, the ones that are on Shannon Christine's Facebook group. So yeah, that was all in there. And then, of course, we played some silly little games. We did a Christmas trivia game that included Christmas movie trivia, Christmas music, and then Christmas cross-stitch patterns. And the competition was by table. My table won. Yay. Table 3, the Turtle Stitchers, because we're a little slow. We won, and we all got Christmas scented candles, so that was cool. And then we went over to the Leroy House, which is the historical society. That's the word I'm looking for. It's the Historical Society's not reproduction, it's the house of one of the original families in town, and they've been in the process of restoring it. We walked through it last year, and the comparison to this year was really amazing. They've done a lot of work over there. And also this time, we were far enough into November that they had the Christmas decorations up. So it was so cozy and charming, and just almost made me wish it was 150 years ago, but not quite. And they also had an exhibit called Threaded Stories of Women's Needlework. So they had quilts, they had lace, they had the samplers, including the one that we reproduced for last year, or we received last year. So I did take some pictures, and I will put that together in a little video at the end here, and just tag it at the end. It's also the home of the Jell-O Museum, and I think I shared some pictures from that last year. When you leave the Leroy House, the Historical Society house, right there is a post that says the Jell-O Brick Road. So I included a little video of me walking down the Jell-O Brick Road to the Jell-O Museum. And at the Jell-O Museum, and this is where we get to a bit of my stash, they had a second sampler that Leslie and her friend had charted from the ones that were found at the Historical Society. And I bought the Jane Boyer 1831 sampler. And this one is only 158 by 141. So it's much more manageable than the giant one that we did last year, or that we received last year. So this is what I purchased. And it's weird. I'm not really a, schoolgirl sampler stitcher, but there's something about knowing that it came from the area where I live, and seeing where the actual person who actually stitched it first was, that just made me want to have it for my stash and possibly for stitching. Who knows? So I got that. I did get one other thing at the Jell-O Museum. I'm wearing it right now because I saw this t-shirt, this one that I'm wearing, I saw last year, but they didn't have my size in stock. And when I emailed them, they said, oh, watch the website. It'll come up eventually. Well, it never did until about a month or two ago. And then I saw what the shipping was, and I hemmed and hawed, and I didn't buy it. But I was back in town. So I walked down the Jell-O brick road, and I bought the Rough on Rats rodent killer shirt. because I've been thinking about it for a year. Obviously, I wanted this shirt. And it's just funny. Because, yes, the place that was the home of Jell-O was also the home of some rodent killing products. I love it. So, yeah, that was my day yesterday. And it was great. I loved it. Had a great time. And I did stitching. So while I was there, I was working on Redbird from the Courtney collection. And it's coming along. I don't know if you can tell what I've done, but that's where that... One moment. That's where that is. Still have to fill in basically green here and the rest of this and a leg. But I think this is the top corner. I think this is the far side over here. I don't think there's any more green over here. So it's getting there. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. It's getting there. I've also been working on Simple Gifts, and I did get that out again after lunch yesterday at the retreat. Actually, Homespun Elegance's old shaker tune. So here's that. And I've, work on a little flower and then jump to another flower. I still have to give the girl here needs her head. And I have to do the sheep. The sheep are all French knots. So I've been putting that off. I probably should just do it, right? Yeah. And I have a finish. I finished the Forget-Me-Not sampler from Victorian Motto. All done. There were a few changes. I did not use any of the called for flosses. No, I take that back. The yellow is the called for yellow. All the other colors were overdyes from my stash. I added my initials and the year. And it's good that I got it finished because I put this year on it. So it has to get done, right? And I also changed some of these trees over like right here, and the ones mirrored on the other side were pink, and I've never seen a pink tree. I mean, I suppose the cherry trees when they're in blossom are kind of pink, but I didn't like them pink, so I stitched them in green and brown instead. But yeah, so that's done, and I think I'm going to take that to my framer because that was about a 2-year on the frame project, and I really like the blue samplers, and I love Forget-Me-Nots, so I think it is hang on the wall permanently worthy. So we'll get that one framed. Let's see. Oh, the other piece of stash I got as I was looking through all of my patterns and things I have kitted and plans that I make, I was looking at the Namari Tapestry sampler, which is a modern folk embroidery sampler. And I found these on Etsy. This is a Hobbit Door needle minder and a matching thread organizer fob with a little mushroom. They're just so cute. They came from Crafty Katie VT on Etsy. And actually, the thread ring came on a bigger ring, but since I'm stitching the tapestry in one, monochromatically, I didn't need the 2-inch ring, so I just put it on a little extra one I had in my stash. But this, because it's on one of those bales, you could put it on any ring that you have. And she sent some lovely extras, including another needle minder and a thread puller or needle threader that matches. It's got a little mushroom on it, just like this. So it's so cute. And yeah, I love that. So I will link her shop below because that was just really cool to get and something I absolutely did not need. So that's been my my past couple weeks. We have the finish, some progress, still trying to clean things up and organize and getting distracted because that's what you do. So I will add on my little video of the event I went to. The first couple pictures, the first picture is a picture of the patterns and my project bag. Then there were some pockets that were brought to show off on the finish table by a woman from one of the local guilds, along with I think it was like a needle roll project. So I took pictures of those. And then after that, it flips over into pictures from the Leroy House Historical Society. So enjoy, and I'll be back later. Thanks. Bye.